Good evening and welcome out everyone to tonight's tackle trading onboarding webinar. This is Coach Frank, going to take you through the tackle trading website here today, show you around a little bit, tell you a little bit about who we are, show you where you can find things, let you know what our schedule looks like, hopefully give you a better understanding of what's going on over here at Tackle Trading. As we kind of get going, I break this down into three areas. I guess when I'm doing this, we kind of talk about things that you can do on your own. That's going to be courses, blogs, some of our different tools, things you can do with others. That's going to be our schedule, our daily shows, our weekly shows, our live streams, and then our weekend report. So that'll be kind of the angle that we come at it here tonight in those three, I guess, phases of the game, to steal a football phrase. A couple of things before we kind of jump into that. Would like to highlight The Huddle. The Huddle is a podcast that comes out each market morning, just a quick 10-minute podcast letting you know the top stories of the day, what's really going on in the market in an unbiased manner. You can watch it directly over on The Huddle. This little link here will take you right over to thehuddle.com. You can listen to it there, or you can catch it on any of your favorite podcast providers. Definitely a great way to start the trading day, get those big news stories, always a little bit of a time saver. With that said, let's just talk a little bit about what tackle trading is, and then we'll dive right into it. To me, it's just a bunch of traders that get together to help each other out. The market's a big place, and depending on who you are and what your experiences in the market are, if you're brand new, if you've been doing it a long time, everything in between, it's nice to be able to ask questions, to help people out, show people what's working for you. It's a fun place for sure. It's great to have a community of like-minded individuals to talk trading with. Hopefully you'll enjoy your time here. Let's dive right into it. Let's kind of start with things that you can do on your own. That's going to be our courses. Now, there are going to be a handful of courses for our pro members, and there are a handful of premium systems that we do. These are going to be the only thing that aren't available to you as a pro member. We'll just hit them really quick. We're not going to get too hung up on them, but just so you know what they are, they're complete systems. It's a one-time purchase. The system is yours for life. Once a month, we get together with members of that team in a mastermind group. The Tackle 25 is a covered call-based system on a select group of stocks that we put together each year with the goal of selling covered calls against them. The STEP system is our swing trading system, just standing for stop loss, target, entry, and position size. Cash flow condors is an iron condor cash flow system on the Russell 2000. And the bear market survival guide is kind of protecting our long-term portfolio against bearish turns in the market, dealing with that bearish market when it ultimately develops. Pretty much exactly what it sounds like. If you want any more information on any or all of these premium systems, you can head over into the store. You can send us an email to team@tackletrading.com. We'd be happy to get you some more information. They will be the only thing that aren't available to you here at Tackle Trading as a pro member. So everything else that we discuss here tonight is available to each and every one of our pro members here. We have our 7-step guide to trading course. This is, I guess it's a couple of different things. Maybe it's different things to different people. To me, it's kind of the tackle trading way. We as traders, there's no two traders that are exactly the same, right? But I think we share some fundamental opinions and beliefs here at Tackle Trading, from starting at the top of the markets and taking that top-down approach to choosing strategies to fit your read of the market, what's going on in the market, how we find and prep our trades, placing the trades, managing the trade, ultimately journaling the trade. It will kind of let you know what the tackle trading way is, I guess, if you will. We'll all put our own stamps on it for sure, but I do think we can kind of share some common ground. If you're new to the market, it can be a really good place to start to help you get a better understanding of routine and process. When you're new to anything, it's typically you're doing a lot but not getting a lot done. And trading is certainly no different. We do want to try to streamline our learning a little bit, right? So that's the 7-step guide to trading. Our technical analysis 101 course will focus on that charting, right? Charts are extremely important to us as traders. They're letting us know when we're getting in, where we're setting our targets, where we're setting up our stops, where we're moving our stops, where we're scaling out of our trades, right? So much of what we do from a timing perspective is going to come through technical analysis, and that's going to be true whether we're day traders, swing traders, trading cryptos, trading currencies, trading gold futures, right? Whatever it is we're doing, the better at technical analysis we are, the better I think our life is going to be. You'll find an option course in here as well. This is going to focus really on the contract itself. What happens when you buy or sell that call or that put contract? It's not quite like stock, right? Where if you buy a stock for $50 today, if you sell it for $51 in the future, whether that's a minute later, an hour later, a day later, a week later, a month later, a year later, if you buy a stock for 50 and sell it for 51, you make $1 a share, right? With options, there's a lot of other factors going on. There's, time decay, there's implied volatility, right? So there's a lot of things that we need to understand when it comes to these option contracts. And the better we understand those factors, I think the easier all of the different strategies are going to be for us. So the Options 101 course is not going to really focus too heavily on strategies. It's going to focus really, really on the contract itself and what moves the price of that contract. If you've ever been interested in either the futures or the Forex market, and I know not everybody is, but I know a lot of people are, we have introductions to those markets as well. Those can be intimidating markets. They are very leveraged markets. They're not ingrained in us like the stock market is, right? Most of us, know about the stock market long before we start trading. They're just another market, though. And it's okay if you don't want to trade them, and it's okay if you do. But if you've ever wanted to take a closer look and kind of understand what's going on over there, how that leverage works, this can be a great start in either the futures or the Forex markets. No matter what it is you like to trade, we do need to have clearly defined systems and rules to trade, right? We are system traders here at Tackle Trading. We all want to develop systems that we trust and can repeat over and over and over again. It's easy to say, it can be a little tougher to do, right? I think at face value, everybody agrees with that. But if you've never done this before, if you've never traded through systems before, how can you be expected to know how to do it, right? The system development course is really designed to help you approach trading and building trading plans from a systematic perspective. It's very, very helpful. I really think that it's just kind of a little light switch for us. And once it's on, it's on. And I don't think you could turn it off if you wanted to. So this will kind of give you some tools to start developing your own systems, which I think is where we all want to be as traders. So these are all self-paced courses. You can work through them at your own speed. You can work through them when you're ready. If you're not ready to do the futures course, no big deal. It's not going anywhere. So that is going to be our courses. We do blog content regularly as well, whether it's more technical analysis over Intelligent Technician, more options in the Option Theory blog, hanging out with Coach Greg and taking concepts from the ground up over in the Rookie Corner, hearing from our awesome female team members in the Women in Trading blog. These are just short reads, right? Probably 5-ish minutes, depending probably on how fast or slow you read. But another way that we can share ideas, talk about what's going on in the market and how we're approaching that as well. So, not everything has to be a course, right? Over in the Trade Center, you're going to find a few things. You'll find a link to our events calendar, which we'll come back to before we're done here tonight. You'll find a link to our trading journals, our trading glossary, and our Tackle Trading Playbook. Let's start at the Tackle Trading Playbook. Definitely want to look at this with folks here tonight. This is where we'll have all of our strategies and what the rules for those strategies are. We break everything down into 3 core areas based on the option Greeks, Delta, Theta, and Vega. If you're not familiar with options, that's okay. I'll talk you through it a little bit. Delta is direction, right? So when I first got into trading, like so many other people, it was buy for 20, sell for 22, right? So stock trading is delta trading, right? But that's also going to include things like buying call or put options, doing debit spreads, doing diagonal spreads, basically movement-based trading. The stock is at 20. I think it's going to 24. Let's fit the strategy to the situation. So our delta trades are going to be our directional trades. Our theta is our time decay or our cash flow plays. The cool thing about options is we can sell them, right? So that's going to be things where, hey, I own 100 shares of XYZ. I'm selling a call against it to bring in some extra cash flow. So through covered calls, selling naked puts, selling credit spreads, selling iron condors. These are theta-based strategies where we're selling, bringing in that premium and taking advantage of the one guarantee that we have, and that is that today is going to come and go, right? I don't know what the market's going to do tomorrow. I might have strong opinions, but I can't know. But I do know that Tuesday is going to start tomorrow and is going to end tomorrow, right? And that's one of the true benefits of the options market is we have the opportunity to sell these contracts. Then you're going to have the vega or the volatility. That's going to be bidirectional, where I don't have an opinion. I just think it's going to do something. It's either going to move a lot or it's not going to move a lot, right? Based on the volatility. So we're just coming out of an earnings season. That's always what comes to mind for this type of trading to me, where company ABC is having earnings. I expect it to move a lot based off of its history, but I have no idea which way it's going to move. I want to build a trade that reflects that, say a straddle, or maybe the market expects company ABC to move a heck of a lot, but when I look at it, I'm just not seeing it. And I want to bet against the market, if you will. So these are going to be volatility-based trades. In any of these, you'll find a video. In the video, it's going to go over, what the strategy is, why we would choose the strategy, what our rules for the strategy are. We'll go through a walkthrough example on Thinkorswim. You'll also have a little downloadable cheat sheet, a little PDF, so you can have easy access to the rules. Hey, how much time are we working with? What's our delta? What's our vega? All of that fun stuff. So easy access to the rules. You will also notice on all of them, there's something between a 0 and a plus or a -3. And again, kind of coming back to match the strategy to the situation. We always want to do that. That doesn't mean I'm always right, but I always have an opinion, right? If I'm going to set up a trade, at least I better have one on it. 0 would be neutral, right? Flat neutral. I expect it to go nowhere, right? Plus or -1 would be, I guess, for me, I say slightly bullish or bearish. +2 or -2 would be just normally bullish or bearish. And +3 or -3 would be very bullish or bearish. And, you can kind of think about it the way, you would like to. But for me, kind of slightly, normal, and very is kind of how I think about it. Again, we want to match the strategy to the situation. So we might both look at, we all might look at company ABC. I might like it. You might like it. You just might like it a lot more than me, right? So you might want to put together a more aggressive trade than I do. Hopefully we're both right? But that's kind of the idea of the playbook. So we'll take you through all of those strategies over here in the playbook. If you go directly into the Trade Center, you'll find a kind of a what's up at Tackle Trading page. What's our next show, most recent posts, our most recent report, our most recent tweet, a little upcoming calendar over the next little while. You'll find a watch list where you can kind of, build something out. So if you may or may not want to use this, but it's nice to have a place, I think. So if we wanted to say, add Apple to our watch list, I'll just throw that in there. Now that it's in there, I'll just left click it to highlight it and hit this little add button, and that'll add Apple to my watch list. When I come back, this will be here. If I decide it's time to go, we've had a good run, Alcoa, but I'm done with you now. I close out of my trade. I'm going to go again, left click it to highlight it and hit the minus button there. That will get rid of it. So if you do want to have kind of a little web-based watch list, this can work there as well. There will be a replay or a live showing of one of our YouTube live streams. There's us right now. If it was, Tuesday night at this time, it'd probably be a replay of the Tuesday halftime report. There will be kind of let you know where you are in any of the courses that you're taking, so you can pick right back up where you left off. There is a link to tradingjustice.com over here as well. Each Monday, the Justice brothers, Matt, Tim, and Mark, put out the Trading Justice podcast. It too is available on all of the major providers. You can also listen to it over on tradingjustice.com. There's also a great monthly newsletter that Trading Justice does. It's definitely worth checking out as well. You can, of course, get to there, to Trading Justice, just tradingjustice.com, but this link will take you directly over there as well. There are going to be several tools in here. There's going to be a market Skyline. This is going to have kind of all of the big stuff, all of its charts in one place. So our indexes, the S&P, right? We kind of hit some all-time highs today, and then we just kind of called it good and saw pretty good selling throughout the rest of the day from a broad perspective. So what's the S&P look like? What does the Dow look like? The Nasdaq, the Russell, right? So the major indexes, Bitcoin, the emerging market ETF, the major commodities, gold, silver, copper, right, etc., as well as the sector spider ETFs. So just kind of a one-stop shop where I can quickly come in and say, hey, what the market do? Any sector stand out? Any commodities stand out? Again, you don't have to look at this stuff at Tackle Trading, but I do think this stuff's important to the market and part of a very healthy routine wherever it is you might be doing that. There's also a link to a FinViz heat map, so you can get a visual of the trading day. That'll take you to the heat map for today on the S&P 500. There is some customization that you can do over there as well, but just an easy way to visually see, what area stood out today, what sectors or what industries. From a, instead of looking at it from a chart perspective, kind of look at, hey, what areas we're moving, right? There is a news aggregator in here that's going to go through some of the major financial sites like CNBC, The Times, Wall Street Journal. Market Watch is usually in here as well. Just kind of go through the headlines. I can easily kind of browse something. Let's go see what Wall Street Journal has to say about tech shares today. If that jumps out, I can go read it. If it doesn't, I can just keep on scrolling until I find something that's actually interesting to me. So it just saves you some bouncing around and some clicks, going to several different financial websites. There's a link to the economic calendar, so you can see what the economic schedule looks like for today or for the week. There's another link to our reports, which are also up here, and we'll talk about here in a few. There is another link to our trade journals, and I personally always come this way, and I encourage others to do so as well. You'll probably remember there in the drop down of the Trade Center, there is the trading journals as well. But if we come into the trading journals while we're in the Trade Center, it will take you kind of through a walkthrough of how to use that journal. It can be helpful for you, especially if you've never used one before. It's pretty much, not a lot of work, right? We kind of let it know what we did, and it kind of does the rest of the work for us. Journaling our trades is really important because every trade that we make is data that we can collect to apply directly to ourselves, right? Themes will emerge. When I'm better when this is happening and I'm worse when this is happening. Why is that? Great, I fixed it. Or I have no idea, but at least I know, right? Journaling your trades will save and make you money. I strongly encourage you to do so. If you come into it this way, just scroll down a little bit and you'll be able to download those journals in here. We've got the trade journal, which is kind of what we're focused on here tonight. But we also have a theta research tool to kind of build out and compare those cash flow strategies, a portfolio journal to kind of keep organized where you are overall within your portfolio. So that is our trade journals. Definitely worth checking out. You'll find a link to the compounding gains calculator, a link to a chart if you ever need one, another link to our glossary, as well as our search function, which is also this little magnifying guy right up here. So that is going to be the Trade Center. Just, a bunch of different trader tools, things that can save you some bouncing back and forth, save you some clicks to take a look at the market each and every day. Our Clubhouse is kind of our own personal social media. At least that's how I explain it. It's just us and it's just trading. So if I have a question about, whatever it is, hey, I'm struggling with this strategy. Can I get some help? Hey, I'm looking at this chart. What are you guys thinking? Right? Just who knows? But it's just a great way to be able to reach out and talk trading with the team. Right? Kind of the old social media way. We're active on all the other the major social media platforms too. But it is kind of cool, I think, to have a place that's away from all of that. And hey, it's just trading all day, all the time. So I certainly invite you to join us over in the Clubhouse. So that's going to kind of take care of that first phase of the game, kind of talking about things that you can do on your own. Now, most of the stuff as we get into our schedule, that second stage, a lot of that you can do on your own too, because most of it's recorded and archived. You can always revisit it. But that kind of concludes that portion of our discussion here tonight. Like I said, before we're done, we'll head back over to the events calendar. I'll show you that. It's pretty handy. Let's talk a little bit about our routine and our schedule over here at Tackle Trading. Because while it's great, you do spend a lot of time kind of doing your own thing, it's also really nice to be able to hang out with other traders, get some live help if you need it, get introduced to new ideas. And we'll be doing that with our team each and every week here at Tackle Trading. Let's start with the Traders Lounge. Every market morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, we host our Traders Lounge. This is the one show that we don't regularly record because, quite honestly, no one's going to go watch the Traders Lounge from 9 months ago, right? But we will record snippets and get them posted in here fairly regularly for our team. We get together in the market each market day, 11 Eastern, for an hour, and it's really just all about our team. That's where you can ask any questions that you might have, whether it's on how to do a strategy, how to manage a strategy, a chart setup that you're looking at and want to get some other eyeballs on. Who knows, right, what kind of questions that we'll have, but certainly we all know that we'll have them from time to time. We do need to have a place where we can address those questions live and in person, and that's exactly what we're doing in that Traders Lounge. It's really all about you and our team in there. Never feel like you can't get in there and ask questions, because that's exactly what that is for. If your schedule is such that you just can never join live 11 Eastern on Monday through Friday, or pretty much Monday through Friday, right, each market day, let us know if you have a question. It's not a huge deal. We'll do our best to accommodate you. We can record it and we can get that snippet in here for you. So if you have a question but you can never join us live in the lounge, let us know. Let us know at team@tackletrading.com. Let us know in one of the other shows. We always will do our best to accommodate our team here at Tackle Trading. So that's the lounge. If the market's open, you can expect the lounge is going to be going on at 11 Eastern each morning. And then shortly after the Traders Lounge, we head back over to our YouTube channel where we do the Tackle Trading Halftime Report, live looking in the market, talk about what's going on in the market today, how is it impacting our charts, stocks in the news, the different components of the market, right, to really go through that daily routine of staying on top of the market. The market's a big place, but just like anything else in life, getting on top of things is a lot tougher than staying on top of things, right? Once we're kind of, okay, I've got this taken care of, now it's just maintenance mode, right? And that's kind of how I think about the market and staying on top of the market and following the market like a big soap opera, that if you are present every day, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in the halftime report, I certainly hope it is and invite you to be over there with us, but by being present every day in the market, staying on top of this big story gets a heck of a lot easier. And that's exactly what we're doing each day in our Tackle Trading Halftime Report. Again, that's live on YouTube at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Being on YouTube, of course, once the stream's over, it will just go directly to our channel. And we do have a lot of people that watch it later in the day, because if you're not available, you're not available. So every single market day, we will be with our team here in the lounge at Tackle Trading at 11, then shifting over to YouTube at 12:30 for the halftime report. That is certainly something we'll be doing each and every trading day. Then we have our evening schedule. On Monday nights, I do this webinar, just kind of walking through, the site with folks. If you ever think it would be helpful, again, you're always more than welcome to join me. You probably don't need to, but the offer is always on the table. That's Monday nights at 7 Eastern. On Tuesday night, we do our coaches show. I would say this is our flagship show. We're a couple days into the market, right? By Tuesday night and 8:30 p.m. Eastern was when we get our coaches show going on Tuesday nights. We're a couple days into the market, so we can kind of do a skyline or an overview. Hey, what's standing out? What are we seeing? What's maybe changed a little bit since the weekend? And also, what I love about the coaches show is it allows us to take one of the many, many concepts in trading, of which there are a ton, right? From indicators to technical patterns to option strategy to portfolio design. And I'm sure there's lots of other things we could go on and on and on. There's a lot of things that we can talk about. What's really cool about the coaches show is it allows us to take one of those things. We always kind of keep it topical, right? At least we try to, but take one of those things and have a really in-depth discussion on it. Give it the time that it deserves to have. The coaches show is awesome. It's a great place to learn more about trading, great place to build upon ideas as you kind of find out what you like and what you don't like in the world of trading. While it is live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, it is also recorded and archived. So if you can't make it live, if things are going on, if you want to rewatch it, if you want to watch some previous episodes, right there in that coaches show, you can find all of that. So that's Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Thursdays, we'll skip Wednesdays for a minute. On Thursday nights, we do our cash flow club. Again, it's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. This one's going to be really focused on building and managing those cash flow or theta-based strategies. So building and managing covered calls, building and managing the naked puts, credit spreads, etc. Right. So it's going to be a little more narrowly focused than maybe the coaches show, because it's all cash flow all the time over in the cash flow club. So if you're a cash flow trader, you'll definitely have a lot of fun over there. That's Thursday nights, again, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Just like the coaches show, it's recorded and archived. You can, watch as many old episodes as you want, and we'll kind of do a little fun search at the end or something. But love to have you live. But again, we also understand schedules are schedules. On Wednesday night, we're doing a couple of different things. I'm going to hop over here into our events calendar really quick. On Wednesday nights, here on our YouTube channel at 7 Eastern, we do our Trade Masters webinar. A couple of the coaches will come together, bring some trade ideas, bounce them off of one another, bounce them around with the team, and then at the end of it, Coach Mark, who typically hosts it for us, declares a champion for the evening. It's a really fun way to be able to bounce ideas around with other traders. We're doing that live on YouTube at 7 Eastern time. And then we're heading over to Tackle Trading about a half hour after that. We're heading over to our Traders Lounge Labs edition, which is where we'll discuss with our team any questions that they might have on those setups, whether it's strategy selection, stop loss placement, whatever it might be, just so we can kind of build off of that conversation that we had on our trade setups over here in our Trade Masters webinar. The easiest way to get into any of our shows is probably, in this events calendar. So I know we're not Wednesday yet, but our trader, assuming we are, click on this guy here. I'll get the link. I can get into the room very, very easily. So that is our Wednesday schedule on YouTube, 7 Eastern, doing our Trade Masters webinar. And then at 8:30, about a half hour after that webinar is over here at Tackle Trading, going into it and answering our team's questions and kind of walking through some things with them here. Our Mind of a Trader is kind of two different things. Again, it's easiest to kind of show this one in this events calendar, I think. Coach Mark does two different Mind of the Traders. He does his Mind of a Trader at the closing bell on Fridays at 1 for me. I think it's 3 Eastern. I'm in Utah. About an hour before the market closes, he'll go through his commodity report. He'll present his commodity reports live. He does our commodity report for us each week, and just answer the team's questions, bounce ideas around as we're making any last minute decisions before the weekend, talk about game plan coming into the upcoming week. Just a great place to be able to go talk with other traders, bounce ideas around, and get some questions answered. So that's Fridays at 3 Eastern time. And then on Sundays at 8:30 Eastern time, in the evening, a little after the future market been open for a while now, he'll have his weekend prep course class, where just kind of talk about, hey, based on the futures, what are we seeing going in the very early part of the week? What's standing out to him? Again, another place, maybe you can't join the Friday show, but you can join the Sunday night show, so you can come in and get your questions answered or bounce some ideas around with folks. So that's going to be the Mind of a Trader. There are 2 of them. Again, getting into them, easiest thing to do is just directly over here in the events calendar. So Friday at 3 Eastern for the week, the closing bell, and then Sunday night, unless the market's closed for a Monday holiday. That's happened a few times, but on Sunday nights at 8:30 Eastern for the weekend course. We also have a tremendous team of female traders with us here at Tackle Trading, and they get together about once a month in their Women in Trading Mastermind group. I, of course, am not a woman in trading, and I do not get to go, and that's okay. I'm pretty sure they're having fun in there. I'm pretty sure they're getting some good work done. So just kind of keep your eyes open. We'll always be sure to promote it. If you're a woman in trading, or if you know a woman in trading, definitely would hook up with the awesome ladies of Tackle Trading, have a lot of fun, and get a lot of good stuff done. But it tends to be about once a month, tends to be towards the end of the month, but we will always promote it, going into the event. So, you can join if you are qualified. So that's going to be the schedule, if you will. Kind of an easy way, at least in my opinion, to kind of keep it organized a little bit is the Traders Lounge is for particular questions. The halftime report is for the daily routine, and the evening shows are where we can really kind of put that educator hat on, right? That for a lot of teaching, there might be a little overlap, but that might be an easy way to think about it. But we'll be here with you in a variety of ways every day that the market is open, no doubt about it. So that's going to be the schedule, and kind of conclude that second portion of our discussion here tonight. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And if you ever feel a little overwhelmed or a little lost on that schedule, again, the events calendar is very, very helpful. We can come in and see exactly what is going on here today, this week, tomorrow, whatever the case might be. We can get the links to get us into those rooms as well. Now let's talk about that third area, and that's our weekend reports. On Fridays, we all get together as a team of coaches here in what we call our scouting report meeting. We talk markets, we talk sectors, we talk industries, we talk commodities, currencies, we talk about setups that we're eyeballing going into the upcoming week. And out of that scouting report meeting comes our weekend reports, the tackle newsletter, the stock, option, commodity, and Forex report. We deliver these to our team by Saturday afternoon, so they have plenty of time to go through any or all of them before the market opens back up, so they're ready to rock and roll. Our newsletter is kind of taking that top-down approach, right? That's where we always start here at Tackle Trading, is at the top of the market, and that's exactly what we're doing in the newsletter. Hey, what's going on in the market right now? What are the storylines? What's on its mind? How is it behaving, right? What are we seeing based off of that behavior? What does the economic calendar look like coming up this week? Anything that we want to keep an eye out for there? Where's the S&P 500? How are we viewing that going into the upcoming week? You will find the ETFs, if you need them, that track the indexes. The indexes, right? DIA for Dow Jones, QQQ for NASDAQ, IWM for the RUT, and SPY for the S&P 500. You'll find Coach Gino's Arkham High-Low indicator in here that looks at the internals of the market. It looks at over 8,000 stocks to help us get an idea of what is it really looking like if we look into the underbelly, if you will, of the market. You'll find the seasonality chart. Historically speaking, what happens this time of year? We're in May, right? There's an old saying, sell in May and go away. I don't know that it's something to live by, but it came around for a reason, right? May tends to be blah, right? Really, the summer, historically speaking, the summer tends to be a lot of a back and forth movement, but we don't really go anywhere, right? And then we have a good fourth quarter. Historically, April's a really strong month. That did play out this past April. Of course, April was a very strong month for sure. We don't want to overvalue this by any stretch of the imagination, but by knowing the historical performance of the market, we can, I think, get a little bit of a leg up. So, what does the market do from a seasonal perspective? The same thing with the sectors. What sectors perform, relatively speaking, the strongest, and relatively speaking, the weakest this month. So, in the month of May, staples and healthcare historically are the strongest, whereas finance and discretionary are, relatively speaking, the weakest. Doesn't mean they're necessarily bad or bearish, right? It might mean that, but it does mean they tend to lag behind. Again, we don't want to overvalue that, but that is very helpful information to know. Our rankings for the sectors will be in here. Each week, we're ranking the sectors based off of the components in those sector Spidery ETFs and what we're seeing within those charts. We'll talk you through all of this stuff, including our rankings in the video. We'll always have a video so we can kind of let you know where our head's at, why we're where we are on this stuff. We'll kind of hopefully kind of give you an idea, a better idea. But on the right in here, we kind of use a football field, as you can kind of see. We're not super extremist or aggressive, I guess. Very rare, if ever. I can only think of a couple times it's actually happened. Will we put an entire index or an entire sector into plus or minus 3 territory? It's pretty common for me to put a stock in plus or minus 3 territory for an individual trade, but I don't think I will ever say I'm so bullish on energy that I'm super bullish, right? Or I might be really, really bullish, but I'm never a 3 or a -3. And I think that's pretty safe to say for the rest of the coaches here at Tackle Trading as well. So it will be very, very, very rare to see something in the plus or -3 territory. But just kind of like the game of football, right? When we're between the 40s, there's not a lot of action, right? Unless you're a diehard fan like me. Once we get between the 40 and the 20, we're now getting into field goal range, right? Good chance that we can get some points. Once we get into the red zone between the goal line and the 20, as long as our kicker and our kicking unit does its job, we're probably going to at least get 3 points, if not a touchdown. So kind of the way that we can kind of think about it. But again, we'll talk you through that in the video so you have an idea. And again, it's like a story, right? We've been ranking these sectors for a long time. We'll rank them again this week. And as we follow along, staying on top of it should get easier and easier and easier. There are the sector Spidery ETFs in here as well. If you're not familiar with them, their website is sectorspdr.com. That's the ETF provider's website. What they do is they go into the S&P 500 and we'll pull out just the stocks in that area. XLE, for example, is the energy sector ETF. We go into the S&P, we pull out just the energy stocks, just the Chevrons, the Conocos, the SLBs, right, the Exxons, and put them in their own portfolios. So we're getting an isolated look at energy versus, say, technology, right? They're two very, very different things, especially right now. These are, of course, ETFs, so we can trade them. These particular ETFs are very liquid. They're optionable, so there are a lot of things that we can do if we want to trade the sector as a whole, or we can kind of use them as our guide. I'm staying away from technology. I'm looking for some bearish plays in technology. I'm looking for, this area is really standing out to me. So they are very helpful, even if you don't ever want to trade them. There's a little detail in here about the way that they're built and the market cap. Because the S&P 500 is weighted by market cap, so are those sector ETFs, right? And so having a better idea of kind of what's going on and their build, their makeup, and some of them are really top heavy. As you can imagine, anything that's got Amazon in it, Amazon's going to make up a huge percentage of it, right? So XLY, for example, is very heavily skewed to Amazon. XLC, the communications ETF, is very heavily skewed to Google and Facebook because they're so huge, right? So a little information on that. You can, dive deep into it at sectorspdr.com at the ETF provider's website if you want to take that deep dive into it. There is also a pre-built scanner in here. So if any particular area catches your attention, hey, I like the way the energy sector is looking. I like the way the healthcare sector is looking. I think maybe there's some bearish opportunity in this area. Just take you to a pre-built scan that will have some trader-friendly stocks. And what I mean by that is they have good liquidity and are easy to borrow. So they should be pretty easy to trade with stock. They have options. Just because the stock has options doesn't mean those options are particularly friendly to trade. I would say as a whole that the group of stocks in there are fairly easy to trade with options, but with options, you always want to double check that liquidity. You don't want to get stuck in a liquid option. So if any particular area catches your attention, just an easy way to go look at some setups in that space to take a closer look at if any of them catch your attention. Again, like I said earlier, there will be a video in here. There we go, right there, where we can kind of talk you through this stuff. So that's going to be the newsletter. And that's where, we as a team always start, right? We take that top-down approach. Then our stock option, commodity, and forex report, kind of what they sound like. Coach Cody does the forex report for us. He does a great job kind of highlighting what's going on in the currency market, what's setting up in the major pairs, economic reports that might be worth keeping an eye open towards this week. He does a lot of teaching over there as well, showing team members who have maybe never traded forex but are kind of starting to get interested into it. He does a great job kind of helping people go from I don't know what forex is to trading in the forex market, as well as highlight what's going on over in that market each and every week in the forex report. As I mentioned earlier, Coach Mark does our commodity report for us. He does that live in his Friday Mind of a Trader, but we'll of course get that in here for you as well. Where you can talk about, the technicals and the fundamentals, the storylines that are moving the commodity markets, moving oil, moving gold, moving copper, right? He's a big cash flow trader. If you've ever ran into Coach Mark before, you don't need me to tell you that. That could be a great market for cash flow plays. So he does a really nice job kind of prepping the team for the world of commodities. And even if you don't trade over in the futures market, right, where the commodities are traded, there's a lot that we can do through the ETF market or through proxies like FCX, for example, is a really good proxy for copper, right? So there's not a great copper liquid optionable copper ETF out there, at least as far as I am aware. But when copper's cooking, so is FCX. So I can use it as a proxy. So there are a lot of things like that. There's ETFs, where I can go to take advantage of gold. I could go trade GLD, or I could go in and look at individual companies within that space. So there is a lot that we can do in the world of commodities through the equity and options market if we're not comfortable or ready to do it over in the futures market. So if you're thinking, well, you know what, commodities are cool and all, but I don't trade futures, fair enough, right? You're not the first, won't be the last trader to say that. There's still lots that you can do, and definitely would check out Mark's commodity report. He does a great job for sure. Then our stock and option report are going to be built very similar to one another. Obviously, they're going to be focused on what their names would suggest, right? But the way they're built is going to be fairly similar to one another. I'll hop over into the stock report here. We'll look at this one here tonight. Every week, we're going to make sure that we do a couple things in our stock and option report. Number one, we're going to highlight a list of setups, both from a bullish and a bearish perspective, going to the upcoming trading week. So you have a watch list of potential trading candidates, right? So a pullback on Bloomin, a breakout on KBH, right? So we'll have technical setups based off what we're seeing on both sides, right, of the aisle. In the stock report video, we'll be able to talk about, ideas from an entry perspective, stop loss ideas, targeting ideas, right? Kind of walk you through the technicals. Obviously, it's up to me what I want to do with Bloomin, if anything, right? No one will ever make me trade something I don't want to trade, but we definitely want to highlight some trade setups for our team, so you don't have to spend your weekend looking for technical patterns. So we'll have a watch list on both sides. We'll also take an opportunity to do a little bit of teaching. This week in the stock report, for example, Coach Greg talked about profit taking, right? Kind of walking that line between taking profits and letting these trades run, right? That's always a tough one. Over in the option report, Coach Tyler talked a little bit more about the ETF market and kind of where it fits into our trading plan. We'll always take a little time, do a little bit of teaching, as well as highlighting some potential trade setups in each area. In the stock report, we can, because we're looking at these as stock plays, you can check the options, and sometimes you'll be comfortable with the option liquidity. And if you are and want to do an option trade, by all means, that's your trade, right? But there is going to be a certainly times where there's things in the stock report that maybe the only reason they're in the stock report instead of the option report is because they don't have great option liquidity. Stock liquidity, fine, but for whatever reason the options aren't there. That's not necessarily the reason, but there will be times that is the reason as well. So you do want to make sure you're double checking that liquidity. If you find something in the stock report that you want to do an option play on, never hurts to go check, right? What's the worst can happen? Oh yeah, those options are terrible. I guess it's a stock play or nothing, and that's fine, right? It is what it is. We can really focus, because we're really focused on it from a stock perspective, on the technical side over here in the stock report. In the option report, while the technical patterns and the that stuff's going to be the same, right? If it's it's either a good setup or it isn't, right? In the option report, while we are going to, of course, focus on the technicals, we're also going to talk a lot about strategy selection. So there's going to be a little bit more of that over in the options report, whereas the stock report can be really more on the technical side when we're talking in our videos and discussion, because of the nature of the beast. These little built-in watch lists that we have here, I'm going to come to Otis to kind of show you a couple things that you can do in here. Here we have Otis. Again, we can kind of talk you through this stuff in the video, but you can probably see what we're seeing here on Otis. We have this big pop on earnings and have gone very sideways for a couple of weeks now. Have developed a pretty clear top. There's our trend line tool, right? We can either do it to draw a trend line or horizontal support or resistance. We've got a sideways market that's developed after that huge pop, right? So we're just consolidating here. So my trend line tool, if I want to add anything, is going to be right in here. If I want to change to a bar chart, I can right there, Come back to candlesticks. If I want to change my time frame, this little drop down here, let's go look at this on the hourly chart and see what it looks like, right? Scrolling your mouse wheel up and down will do this, what I'm doing here, so I can kind of scroll, so I can kind of see where everything is. Yeah, that's pretty consistent on the hourly chart. If I need to zoom it up or down, I can just left click and hold the left click mouse button, and I can wiggle it so I can get it to where I want it to be. So that's how I can move the chart around. Lots of wiggling to get it to be, I guess, comfortable to your eyes. Can change it if I want to go look at. Let's go look at that weekly chart. What's that looking like? All right, let's go look at, this, that, or the other. So you can change your time frames. You can scrunch it. You can get your trend lines on. There's obviously other things you can do, but couple other things I want to show you really quick. The indicators are right up here. They will not save, so don't get too crazy putting indicators on these charts. I usually just put the ATR myself, and then I'll just kind of do the rest on my own charting platform. I can scrunch this one down by just kind of left clicking on the little wall between volume and the new indicator I added. Make it bigger or smaller. It will not save, right? So, when you add your indicators, just know that when you come back, they're going to be gone. Same with my trend lines and stuff. But your indicators are right in there. You're also going to have this guy right here is where we can, build out long or short position. So, for example, here, let's say I wanted to get into Otis right here. That's where I'd get into the trade. I've got a target price in mind at $84, let's just say, for fun. All right, that might not be your target. And I want to put my stop loss below this little base right here. I can kind of see what that looks like. I'm risking $1 to get $1.82, whether or not that's acceptable. Most traders do ask for a 2-to-1 or better, but that's up to us individually. Okay, that's not, that's fine for me. Or maybe I've got a target of $85, so I've got a little better risk to reward than maybe you do, because 84 was your target. But just can be a visual, can save us some math time, letting us know what that looks like. We can kind of zoom to the intraday if we need to. A lot of cool things that we can do on these built-in trading view charts that you've seen many times here, on Tackle Trading, in our reports, in our newsletter, over in the Trade Center. If you hit this button right here, that'll just get rid of the watch list, so you have a little more chart room to work with. Smack it again, and it'll bring it back. If you want to take a picture of the chart for whatever reason, that camera will let you do that as well. So just a couple of things about these charts. You may not use them very often. You might use them a lot. I use TradingView for my own personal charting myself, but you will use them at least a little bit when you first go through the stock report, right? At least the first time you go through and look at them. So a couple things in there. But we basically, with these reports, whatever you're trading, whether it's just a stock trader, just an option trader, an equity trader, trading stock or options, Forex, commodities, whatever it is you like to trade, or all of the above, we want to share ideas, highlight attractive setups, highlight situations that are standing out to us each and every week, so you don't have to go out and dig them up. You can use all of them. You can use none of them. You'll probably be like the rest of us, and most of us at least, just pick the ones that you like that fit you best and add them to your watch list. But we'll always make sure that we highlight some ideas for our team in these various areas each and every week. And as I said earlier, you can expect to get these delivered by Saturday afternoon, so you have time to go through them before the market opens back up. Don't be afraid to prioritize, right? If you're primarily a Forex trader, that's probably where you're starting, right? And that's to be expected. So that's going to be our reports. Couple of other things really quick, and I'll let you get out of here. Our Tackle Today is our daily email. If you would like to get it and don't get it, just click Tackle Today. You can sign up right in here. You can also read the daily email in blog format here as well, if that is your preference. That is the Tackle Today. If you're ever interested in any of our other products, whether it's the Tackle 25, the Bear Market Survival Guide, just our trading journals, whatever it might be, you can find more information over there in the store. If you're ever looking for a particular subject, don't hesitate to send us an email to team@tackletrading.com. But the search function here is very smart. So say you want more information on covered calls, I'll just throw that in here. I'll tell it to show me all results. Covered calls are kind of a big one, so there's going to be lots in here, lots of different blogs on covered calls. There's going to be discussions in the Traders Lounge on covered calls. Right? There's going to be discussions that we've had in various locations on covered calls. So it can be pretty easy to find information about a subject that you're looking for just through the search function. Don't hesitate to reach out if you're looking for something and can't find it. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. So don't hesitate. But a lot of times, easiest thing to do is just do a quick search and you'll find what you're looking for. We are active on all of the major social media platforms. We've got Instagram, LinkedIn. Obviously, we're on our YouTube channel right now. In addition to our live streams, our halftime report, our Trade Masters webinar, we've got a lot of stuff over there as well. A lot of how-tos, a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of tutorials on the Thinkorswim platform, and we're always doing more. So hope to see you over on our YouTube channel in the future. We've got a Facebook page as well as a Facebook group. If you're a Facebook user and want to connect with some other Team Tackle members over there, I don't do the Facebook thing, but I know a lot of people really like it. We, have a Twitter. I kind of do a lot for the Tackle Trading Twitter personally. That's my social media that I guess I like the best or hate the least. I don't know. So, but it can be a fun place to be able to share upcoming earnings, charts that might be standing out that I run into during the trading day, whether on my own or from another coach or from another member of our team. Just fun stuff. Another great way to hang out with the team. So if certainly invite you to join us on any of these social media platforms if you are using them. If you're not, I certainly understand. You're probably never getting me on Facebook, no matter how nicely you ask. And so I understand. Certainly welcome you to our Clubhouse as well. Like I said, if you ever need to get in touch with us, team@tackletrading.com. Never hesitate. We're always here to help you out. That is our job, and we take that job very seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, that is everything I wanted to cover with you here this evening, but hopefully it gave you a better understanding of who we are at Tackle Trading, what we're doing, when we're doing it, where you can find it. Never hesitate to reach out to the team, whether it's in the Clubhouse, in the lounge, in an email, to me on Twitter, whatever. We've all got your back. We're all on the same team. And that's what I love about Tackle Trading. We all understand that we're all on the same team. We want to see each other succeed. We want to see each other make money in the market. And while I can never make your trades for you, nor would I want to, if you have questions that I can help you with, I'm more than happy to talk trading with you. Are you kidding me? I love talking trading. And I think that kind of is the philosophy that we as a whole take here at Tackle Trading. So thank you so much for hanging out with me here, taking a look at Tackle Trading. If you're new to Tackle Trading, welcome. It's great to have you with us, and I look forward to getting to know you better as the days go by. If you're just looking into Tackle Trading, seeing what we're all about, we do have a standing offer, a free 15-day trial. That you can come see the back end, see what we're doing over here in all of the stuff that we discussed here tonight. There will be a link in the description of any of our Tackle Trading videos, including this one, that can get you to that free trial. So hopefully I'll see you at Tackle Trading as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for tonight. But it has been my pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for catching up with it a little later in the week. Welcome to Tackle Trading. Looking forward to getting to know you. Looking forward to talking trading with you in the not too distant future. Have a great